So, hey y'all, this is the girls of Slicktalk, female bosses of Atlanta.
Yes. And my name is Jasmine, Miss Iverson on Instagram.
And I am Rosanna, just like Hunny. That's JUSLYKHUNNY. And we are here today to talk about compartmentalizing your brand, pretty much. We're going to start off first with go vote.
Yes, it is very important. I see a lot of people saying that their votes don't matter, blah, 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 blah. Listen, your votes matter because if it didn't, they wouldn't pay millions and billions of dollars
to keep you from
to
voting.
campaign
Yes.
for you to vote and for you not to vote. So your votes and your voices definitely matter. If you don't even feel like you agree with any of the candidates, there's other things on the ballot to vote for.
Correct.
Not just the presidential election.
Your local elected officials are up there. There's certain laws that they're going to be passing in different states.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that your voice is heard. You know, the first thing that people always say is, oh, well, they passed this stupid law, but you didn't exercise your right by going to vote. So make sure that your input is actually going into what's, the outcome is going to be.
And also, just vote for those who can't. Like, you have people who are felons who would love to vote and love to have the opportunity to vote, and they can't. Vote for those family members, those friends that's not able to exercise that privilege. And also there's people who've been in this country their whole life and can't vote because they're not American citizens, or it's just a lot of things that you can vote for.
Vote for your ancestors. I mean, you got to think about how many people were discriminated against because of voting. How many people stood in line and to get there to be told that, the poll is closed mysteriously when you get to the end of the line. So you want to make sure that you are utilizing your right. I mean, granted, like she said, we might not like the candidates, but there are so many ways that your voice matters and that you can make an impact on the outcome.
Yes. So please stop spreading this awful agenda about your votes not mattering. It's very misleading, and it's definitely showing your peers that, you don't care.
Right. Like I said, go vote. I mean, mail it in. You still have a few. I don't know if you can still request mail-in ballots because it's so close. But if you've already received your mail-in ballot, I'm actually going to be dropping mine off this week because I have a full schedule and just, I don't want to have any excuse of why I didn't vote. And if you have the time, go stand in line. Social distancing, of course.
Yes.
Wear your mask.
Because I like voting on election day. I'm not early voting. I just have this thing where I think the votes get lost. And if I vote on the day, you ain't going to lose it.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely voting on November the 3rd.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look at me lying down here. Knocked out. Penny probably doing the same.
Dog life.
So, yep. Well, y'all, we've got that voting part out the way, and we want to get down to the nitty-gritty and how hard it is to compartmentalize when you are a boss. Whether you are in a fitness industry, whether you do hair, whether you're a business coach, or whether you are just out here winging it. You're just a hustler. You're a jack of all trades. But people tend to look at you like, their come up is mine. Would you agree?
Yes.
I mean, what have your challenges been? I mean, I know I've obviously had some, so I know you've had some as well, just with trying to separate the two.
I guess, honestly, like, I've dealt with that issue my whole life, really, because when growing up, like, my cousin was very famous, and when I was in school, I definitely...
Where's she at?
So, yeah, when growing up, my cousin was very famous, and I lived in the city and state where he grew up. Mm-hmm. So, once he made it to the league, it was always like
anybody with that name.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to school.
I would be in school. So people would come up to me like, "Oh my God, Are you related to Allen Iverson? It's a very, 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 very rare last name. So it's not like my cousin was Michael Jordan. A lot of people's last name is Jordan. This was like a name that you just didn't have.
Right.
So I definitely dealt with that issue my whole life, not knowing if people were my friend because of me.
Or were they just trying to get close
Were
to
they
you
just trying to get close to me because I was related to somebody who was in the league? I mean, I just dealt with that my whole life. So I knew early on how to separate the two. And it has been easy for me now in this business that I'm in. I know how to separate people. I know who are my going out friends. I know who are my friends' business associates. I know who my friends are at work. Like, I know who my friends since I was a kid. Like it's very easy for me because I had to deal with it my whole life.
Correct.
But it is very challenging because you don't want to feel like you have to do certain things to certain people because of...
But no, you have to.
Right.
I mean, whether you are, like you said, you grew up around it, and even people that aren't famous, but they just have a name that, you know, carries some weight in their city, you know, councilwomen or things like that. It's really hard to explain to somebody, like my children right now, you know, when we moved to Atlanta, it was like, okay, the circle grew. But then people started watching you, and my kids are like, we have a unique last name, Drumgold. And they're like, I keep telling them, you don't have a name like Johnson, like my grandma, my stepdad. You have a name that's going to stand out when you go out here and do things. So you have to make sure that you are acting accordingly. You, like you said, you can't be everyone's friend. No. I saw a post the other day. It was like, you know, you can't talk to one friend about everything. You kind of got to figure out who can I disclose this to? Who needs to know
and
what?
There's no shot to anybody.
Please make sure we state that, because people will listen and get offended.
One person knowing everything about you. Nope. Because we know how life goes, and that
Stuff
one
happens.
Person can be your worst enemy.
Oh gosh.
And it just turns really bad.
Like, I've seen people that have had friends I've had people that I've been around for 2 or 3 years that are loyal.
Right.
Then some people I've known a long time, but then I also have my sandbox friends where I'm like, I don't have to blink. I know you tell me something. I already know what's up. So, you know, like with them, but would you think that it's harder to compartmentalize things with the people, your long-term friends, versus the newer ones? Because I know with me, the new ones are a challenge for me. Like,
the newer ones are definitely going to be more of a challenge. And that's why when I meet new people, I make sure most of the time it's a business situation. Right. Because I'm 31, going on 32. I don't need any new friends. Right. Like, let's be real. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I'm not blocking any friendship out of my life in the future, but I'm just saying I take everything head on as like a business situation at this age, because if it's not beneficial. Bingo. Because I know what I bring to the table in a friendship, and I'm gonna need that in return. Ooh, and everybody can't give that to me.
No, they can't. I mean, I think that's, you know, I always tell people I'm a true Virgo at heart. You know, I my heart is always on my sleeve. I mean, I'm giving, and I think, you know, since moving here to Atlanta, the challenge with me is having to not give so much. Like one of my good friends in the coaching industry, she stated that, cute picture. Yeah, we over here snapping selfies. You know, it's just one of those things where she said, you know, you have to give from your overflow. She says you're going to have to be able to distinguish between that. And I think cutting those people off has really been the challenge. Because, you know, the mistake I had made, and I haven't done it recently, but the mistake I made like my first year here is I let people get too close to me. And then when they were realizing, oh, you have your hand in this, or you have your hand in this. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. This person's a leech. I wasn't used to it. So like you said, you grew up that way. So it's kind of like you said, newfound fame. Yeah. It's that stardom. It's like, well, wait a minute. I did know, and I'm still learning, you know, so it's been a challenge.
And I shut it down any chance. Don't know if you're going to listen. Don't really care. Right. But there was a specific individual, when I had posted like my recent, client that I received, this person went into my inbox and was like, hey, I have some jerseys if you can get that person to sign them for me, it'd be greatly appreciated. First and foremost.
Wait a minute, what?
I don't even know you like that. That's just first and foremost. If I was going to give anybody signatures, it would be people that I actually know, hang around.
That you're dealing with.
Family, boyfriend, like whatever. Dude, like who are you?
But
first of all,
that's a breach of contract.
And then,
confidential. You get one.
And then secondly, I'm not, when I'm dealing with my clientele that I deal with, I'm there to do a job.
Right.
And it's to do their hair. Yes, sometimes we kiki and talk about sports and talk about a personal situation. But at the end of the day, I'm there to be their hairstylist. I'm not there to hound them. They get hounded
all the time and everywhere they go
by strangers. So do you think I'm going to interrupt my business for a signature? No, sir.
No, because that could actually be the make or break with, you know, a situation. Because some people
I can
may
ask for
brush
that signature just to give you
some notoriety, and then they might not refer me because they feel like, oh, she can't handle.
Or they may not contact me again to do their hair. Now you messed up my money. Like,
all over a signature that we probably didn't get because the jerseys aren't here. So you see, so I don't think people
not gonna do
that.
it. I shut it down every chance I get, even when they ask for my cousin's signature. That's not what I'm here for.
Thank you.
If you bump into that person, you ask them. But I'm not the connector to
But people
signatures.
tend to do that. Like with me dealing with coaching, I half the time can't even tell people who my clients are because I'm helping them establish their brand.
Right.
So that's like if you're about to launch something, do you know how bad I want to say, hey, this is who I'm working with. This is who this person is. You know, but it's like they've signed an NDA. I've signed one. I have to respect that.
Right.
So I think, you know, we respect our businesses and brands, but the people around us, do they truly respect it? Or do you think that they're looking for how can they benefit from us? And that I think that's I know that's a scary one for me. Like me and my husband was just talking about it.
And it's okay to benefit from people.
I mean, absolutely.
But make sure it is a mutual benefit. Like, it got to be mutual at this point. Like, if I'm doing something for you, I need something done in return. Not saying that that's what I'm looking for, but you should want to bring that to the table if you're requesting.
Don't keep coming empty-handed. I always tell people, don't be the person at the cookout leaving with 10 plates.
Right.
You know, did you help? Did you cook? Did you clean?
And that's my whole point. Just, if you're listening and you're either the plug or the socket or the cord, make sure your interactions are two-way streets, because you will get sucked so much into a depression, into
anxiety,
all the stuff that feel like you have to do for people.
Yep.
And you're never going to be happy.
I'm being honest with you. In our community, I mean, let's face it, you know, I know it happens in all communities, but specifically in the Black community, I know my family, my parents kind of raised us to always like give back. Yeah. So, you know, like when I got older, like I watched my mom give so much to my grandmother, cousins, and, you know, a lot of them don't know this. And if you're listening, yes, I know every time you called my mom and you asked for money. I know every time she paid your bills or she loaned this and did this for your kids. I'm well aware, because I usually was the person she would vent to on the phone about it. And I watched people suck her dry for years. You know, my parents now are divorced. I watched it tear her down as a person, because my dad, my dad's laid back. Ain't nobody gonna approach him, but they always approached her because they felt like that was the easier target. So us, the lesson I had to take from that is like, because I recently had to tell somebody no for something, and I know he's probably gonna listen to this. He asked for $100 for some program, something. I have a thing of, I made a vow to myself in 2020. I wasn't giving nobody no money. It's on my vision board. Like, I can go take a picture of it. I'm not doing it because I've let people stay in our homes. I've done all this. So I feel like I had to give back to myself.
Right.
And that was a hard lesson. 2020 has literally, if anybody's been, you know, kind of following me and my husband, that has been the lesson that I had this year, is just giving back to me. Self-care, making sure our brands are straight, our businesses are, you know, aligned. Like you said, that mutual connection. We had to cut a lot of those off. So I don't want people to feel like, oh, well, you bought this. I know you get that. I hate it. I can show you my inbox. And they're like, you bought this, but you can't give me this.
I can calculate how many hours I work per week on my feet. If I want to buy myself anything,
it ain't none of your business.
And if I tell you I don't have it, It's not that I don't have it. I don't have it to give.
Bingo.
And people need to understand their boundaries when they're asking for people. Asking, like, I've never, like, maybe I don't understand because I've never been an asker. I just go and do. But there's grown men.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, did you see that thread?
Child. I'm a part of that thread because I'm going to let it be known. There's grown men out here, and I'm not just going to say Atlanta because I'm sure it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I live in Atlanta, and there's grown men asking women, asking other grown men for money. Look, I get it. Sometimes you are at your wit's end, but sometimes there's options for you to go get it yourself. Mm-hmm. And it baffles me that people do not use that lane first before they ask. That's my problem with people who do not know how to make lemonade out of lemons. Because you ask for a cake, God give you the eggs, the milk, the flour, the butter, the sugar, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? And
it's like you're supposed to make it.
The cake.
You ask for that cake. I mean, a lot of y'all, it's 10,000 hours to master something.
It's ridiculous.
So I want you to understand, you know, like you've mastered your class. You've obviously been doing this more than 10,000 hours. And same with me. And I just feel like when you've mastered your craft, you've earned it.
Yeah.
Key thing is earn. I think a lot of people now are in this give, this take society.
It's the cash app. It's the immediate
gratification
source of gratification that's really taking a toll on this world. It's the cash app. It's the homeless people who ask. My type of homeless, and I always give, are the ones who say, can I do something? Let me wash your windows. Let me wash your tires.
The little boys, I hear with the bottles of water. It's like they're not just asking for money. They're like, look, I bought a case of water for $4. Right. I'm trying to make some money back off. It's 36 bottles.
My thing is, do something for what you're asking for.
Exactly.
Everybody is given the same thing when they're born.
It's the same 24 hours in a day, the same days. It's nothing extra.
We all was born broke.
Yeah.
You might have been born into a wealthier family or something like that, but your individual self.
You're born broke.
You're born with nothing.
You really are.
Other than your breath to breathe. Yep. So if I can make something shake, I'm going to need you to try to make something shake too.
But this is the thing, it does irritate me, because that's why I kind of had to realign my business this year because I noticed that I would say playing with low fruit.
Right.
A lot of people, they will say they want, I want to be like you. But then when I say, okay, call me, here's a free consultation to talk to me for 30 minutes. Why are you not taking these skills and these tools and utilizing them? So it's like, do you really want it or do you want me to give you what I have? And people hate it when you reword it like that because they're like, well, no, I'm not trying to take. I'm like, no, you are.
Yeah.
I have kids. It's like 6'2".
Growing boys.
Right. So, it's just, I think that's the thing where I'm kind of stuck with society. It's like, how do you reach people that don't want to learn? It's like, do you just kind of write them off or, what do you do with that? Because that's where I'm at right now, just trying to establish
in my life, they're written off because, sorry, here's your pink slip. I ain't got time for it.
Right.
Because it's a different type of drain when you have people who constantly taking from you. Mm-hmm. And if nobody ever gives, what are you left with?
Nothing.
It's just crazy to me that you would think that somebody is always the giver and never the receiver.
Exactly.
There's people out here who love to give, but I promise you that they would love to receive too.
Trust me, I can tell you, out of all of the mindset work that I help people with, that's the one thing that everyone says is who helps the strong person, who picks up the phone and calls.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, how before you even ask me for anything, it's like, how was your day? Mm-hmm. Are you and the boys doing good? Mm-hmm. Or just better yet, how is your business going? Yeah. Yes, some of the people might be trying to fake the phone, but it's at least show me that you show some kind of effort that you
I'm going to tell you this right now. When I was in, it had to be college because that was my brokest self. And I mean wits end, because like, even as a broke college student, I still was afraid to ask, because I felt like I should be able to get this on my own. But I didn't have the time to, because I was in school all day. So there was no time to go to work. Like, it just
wasn't feasible. I mean, you want to get good grades.
So I remember, and I know my uncle, all my family knows. Who everybody who helped me out when I was in college, they know to this day, I ain't never just coming out and just asking. Right. I'm checking on you weeks prior. Yeah. Because I want you to know that, hey, yes, it is planned that I'm going to ask you for something in a month from now. I want to know what is your well-being. But I want you to know that I truly do care about how you are, and I'm not just asking for something. Correct. I'm definitely going to, hey, how are you? How you been? Perfect, great. Hey, I'm down to my last. I already asked my mom and grandma. I don't want to keep digging in the same pot. Like, is there anything you can help me with this week or this month? Like, whatever it is. But they were more willing to give because I keep in contact. Like, it's people who you haven't heard from in years. Hey, you have some money? Like, whoa. Well, that's just like we launched the website, and people were like, well, where's your discount code option at? I'm like, dude, I just launched this. Like, they already asking for discount code. I'm not Bath and Body Works, They're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get one. Let me get the Black Friday first. Start off your business with the sales, they'll never respect it. It's downhill from there, because they're always gonna look for a sale. Like, honestly, because that's how I am with Fashion Nova. Yeah, you're like, I'm not shopping unless I see 50 to 80% off. Bingo. That's just. I went to school for fashion. I know you overpricing stuff. Well, I did with vending. I started looking at vendors, and I was like, this is how much they paid for that purse. I'm not boo-boo the fool. I was like, look. Unless it's real leather, that's the only people that get money from me. There you go. Real leather, things that last a long time, things that got lifetime warranties. So it's more about quality now. Yeah. That's just real. But if I'm shopping on Fashion Nova, I'm looking for a discount code, because that's how they started. Yep. They started out with if y'all are paying attention, that's actually a nugget right there for business. Yes. If you are starting out, I mean, we both have been in business for a while, and no, I have not offered any sales. Jazz, you ain't offering no sales. No. You pay for what you get, and when you give quality service, it's like, look, I know what I'm worth, so you either sell me, pay cash, I'm gonna have my pen ready, and or you're going to have to go to somebody else. And I'll gladly refer you to somebody that is in your price range. And I think that's the thing, too. A lot of people, they feel like because your budget changed, theirs changed, too. That's been, just dealing with people that have less. Like you said, with the same group of friends and things like that. That's been a challenge, because they're not where we're at. So, it's like, they see you here spending this, and it almost come off as bragging, but you're really not. You're literally living your life. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't look at things that way because I'm not a jealous person. Right, but I'm telling you, and that's when, like, me and my husband, we kind of realized that we were, I'm not going to say sitting at the wrong table, but maybe we need to turn around and talk to some more people. Yeah. Because everything that we were doing was coming off as bragging. Like, people were commenting, like, oh, you didn't invite us to this, but you were spending this. Y'all went here, and I'm like, we're living our life. I want to give my children not only what I had, but more than what I had. And if I'm capable, which, God has blessed us. Right. If I'm capable of providing that lifestyle to them, I want to make sure I want to do so. Right. But in the turn, y'all know I'm a coach. I can help. I've tried to help people do the same, and this is just like you said, hit and miss. You either gotta wanna do it for yourself or not. So. They want that minute rice. Yeah, but minute rice is not. They don't want to. No, I'm sorry, baby. I like that hibachi. You know how they let that stuff sit in front of you? They put the little tin pan over it, get the butter and stuff. I'm one of those. I don't mind taking the time to do it the right way, whether it's, like you said, business, relationships, just strategies, process. Anything I'm doing, I just feel like I want quality, and I want it to be beneficial. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't operate with that. They want, like you said, they want cheap, fast, quick,
They want that quick dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not down
I
with
tell
that.
people all the time, you do not want that quick money.
No, you
Because
don't.
you're going to want to you want it to keep coming quick, which means you have to do compromising things, normally illegal.
Ooh, you know,
And it's not worth looking over your shoulder. It's not worth not
we
being able
sleep
to
good at
sleep.
night.
Right, it's
Yeah,
not worth
I would have.
not being able to sleep at night. Just run legit businesses.
Your children not being able to sleep at night. I actually saw an incident where this guy's children are paying for everything that he did. They pretty much have blackballed his name. He won't get hired. I can't say the company, but they blackballed his name. They won't hire his kids there. And the sad thing is a lot of the family used to work there, but they won't hire them. And it's just, you not only want to make the right choices for you, but I think now, especially with the state that the country is in right now with everything, we have to start being more conscious of the generations that come behind us. I mean, whether you have kids or not, it's just your choices are going to affect somebody, and I just feel like I'm all about impact right now. It's like, how can I bless and, be a good resource to the people that are around me. And I think that's really where we all need to operate from, being our better selves so we can give back. If everyone did that, I think it'd be a balance. It's good. We just got too many takers right now. So,
that's because the givers are not giving boundaries.
Boundaries. Strong word. How do you think we should establish though? Like the advice to give to people is like, I got some friends that are
know
cold.
Yourself. And you have to
people
know,
don't know themselves. People do not know themselves.
You gotta know yourself.
I realized that the hard way.
First, to even set the boundary.
Yeah.
And then know the people that's around you. Like,
I mean, what you think? Chadwick, I think it was amazing that he was able to go home in peace, and his circle never released what was going on with him.
That is amazing.
That spoke so many. It was like an aha moment for me because it was like a unsigned NDA to me. I for those that wonder what an NDA is, non-disclosure agreement. I work in the government field, so that's something that's very common, and I feel like a lot of people in life do not respect the privacy.
Right.
Everyone wants to leak this little bit so they can,
get some money.
Get some money. It's but I thought that was amazing. No, but like you said, they had boundaries, and they respected the boundaries because you can set boundaries, but it's all about will the people around you respect them as well. Look at her.
She's trying to be comfortable.
She sure is. She about to pee on me again.
Come on, mama.
So it's just setting the boundaries, making folks respect them, and hoping to God that you get it back in return.
Yep.
So, I don't know, y'all. I hope y'all got some nuggets out of this.
Yeah,
because
when you guys check out our podcast and you guys are listening, I'm sure there's a comment section.
Yes.
Under things.
We'll be uploading this to YouTube, to our channel. So definitely.
Write some comments of, how you are dealing with boundaries and,
the challenges that you have with maybe even creating them, or like Jazz said, just knowing yourself. I think a lot of times we focus on trying to get to know the things and people around us, but we're not taught to understand ourselves. A lot of us don't figure that out until we're grown and you dealt with something and you're forced into it. Like, dang, why is this being so repetitive?
Right.
So yeah, if y'all got some, situations that you've been through in your life where boundaries have either been violated, tell us. We want to hear what y'all got to say. We want to know what y'all got going on. And we might even be able to, help you through a situation. I mean, we've been through a little bit. Look.
Been around the block a couple of times.
Right. So let us know what y'all think. Give us some comments, feedback, and love.
Yes.
And subscribe to our channel.
Please and thank you.
So y'all, this is the girls of Slicktalk, female bosses of Atlanta.
Yes.
Signing out.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.